Hello and welcome to Deepwell Archival Services. Today's brief 5-minute video presentation is intended to demonstrate and outline some of the potential issues and challenges associated with deploying a PACS storage and archive implementation from a cloud-based service provider. And we'll also compare and contrast some of those potential challenges with what a true cloud-based vendor-neutral archive solution should look like and some of the problems it should solve for the imaging organization or the end user. So we start out with the very familiar imaging organization. You've got the different modalities sending diagnostic study information to a PACS system. Now, this PACS system, along with its primary storage, as well as the replicated storage. All three of those components could be hosted. You might possibly be, one scenario we're starting to see is, folks utilizing the hosted storage vendors for the Tier 3 or the replicated disaster recovery data copy. But any one or all three of those components, the PACS, the primary storage, and the tertiary or Tier 3 archive could be hosted individually or collectively. So what are some of the issues? Well, some of the questions you have to ask yourself with any of these 6-letter cloud-based storage vendors. And again, we don't want to pick on anyone in particular, but you can use your imagination as far as who those 6-letter cloud-based storage vendors are. Some of the things you need to ask yourself, okay, in the event that you end the relationship, how do you get your data back? Now that question should be very simple to answer from a contractual as well as a technological perspective. What is the migration strategy? I don't know anyone that would boast that they've built a storage infrastructure that is going to last for the next 5 or 7 or 10 years. Are you being indirectly exposed to a risky, costly data migration by going to a cloud-based, a generic cloud-based storage strategy? And are you overpaying? The common fee seems to be 20 cents per gigabyte per month. Now you replicate that, per the HIPAA requirements for disaster recovery and business continuance, and all of a sudden it's 40 cents. You get up into a 7 or a 10-year retention cycle, and really after about 2 years tops, you're really starting to overpay for that for the storage of those diagnostic studies. So, and we're going to focus a little bit, put a little bit of emphasis on the disaster recovery and business continuance contingencies in the HIPAA regulations. What are some of the potential downtimes or dead time scenarios you could have? Now, you've got a PACS system here with database structures. You could have corruption or outages in one or more of those database structures. You could have a PACS downtime, either planned or unplanned. You could have lack of access to the primary storage, again for maintenance, planned downtime or unplanned downtime. You can have internet outages. You can have a lot of different scenarios. HIPAA regulation just kind of specifically, generally, talks about having business continuance and disaster recovery contingencies in place. So business continuance implies that you continue to provide services in the event of one or more component, PACS component or medical imaging storage component downtimes. So how do you do that? Well, we at Deepwell believe that a cloud-based vendor-neutral archive solution should be very clean and very easy to implement. It should be a couple of things: integrated with the PACS and the primary storage, and you should be able to take advantage of cloud-based technology and features. You shouldn't be taken advantage of by cloud-based storage vendors, and we're going to get into that more in a subsequent video, how to take advantage of the cloud as opposed to being taken advantage of by cloud-based vendors. So in our case, this is a DICOM-based application running on our on-site server. We are an on-site, off-site implementation. So right away from a disaster recovery and business continuance perspective, we have answers to a lot of these, what do you do in these potential downtime scenarios. We charge one-time fees for the life of the diagnostic studies, so you are definitely not overpaying. And we have an automated migration strategy as part of our deep archive. Now we're going to get into those features and functions in greater detail in a subsequent video as well. But suffice to say that this should be a very crisp, clean implementation. This is an active archive software architecture on our server as well. So we are migrating data as well as serving as an online image cache. So we wanted to cover the high-level challenges with cloud-based storage and some of the advantages potentially of a cloud-based VNA implementation. So we hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your interest in Deepwell, and we hope to see you on our next 5-minute presentation. Thanks so much and have a great day.